Thank you so much, Ashok sir, for being here. It's our great pleasure to have you over here. Sir, you had an amazing career, starting your journey from West Bengal Civil Service, serving in police for 20 years. Later, serving as an IPS officer, one of the most prestigious honor or designation provided in India. Later, you also worked with CBI. So, can you please walk us through your journey?
I don't know whether it was amazing, but it was enjoyable. I enjoyed my service all through. I joined in the year 1987 and I ended up in 1920, 2020. So this is a long journey as a police officer, and I experienced many ups and downs in the police service. So you can say like that yes, it was amazing, and I think I have tried my level best to contribute to the department as well as to the people of West Bengal, wherever I've been posted. And I think that I served them. And this has to be the motto of every police officer or IPS officer, to serve the people of the state where they are posted.
Sure, sir. So, what motivates you to pursue your career as a police officer or an IPS officer? Is anyone who inspired you to take government service such as police or defense as a career option?
My joining police service is a little bit accidental, though my father was in police service in Kolkata Police Service. But my preference was that I should be a judge. My mother told me. So I thought I should be judge. But later I came to know that no, the appointment of judges are not that like that. It was the Indian Civil Service. There has to be Indian Civil Service, and then you can be the judge of the district. District magistrate was then judge also. They used to judicial power. Before separation of judiciary and executive and other police. So my mother told me that you should be judge. But how to be a judge, I had no idea. Everyone told me that you should appear for Indian Civil Service. Later it was known as Indian Administrative Service, like that. So initially I started as West Bengal Civil Service. And when Civil Service, I accidentally got Indian West Bengal Police Service. Then I got promotion to the Indian Police Service. I carried on my job. I liked it, and that.
So, from 1987 to 2020, one of the toughest period we can consider of Bengal, right? Because there are so many things happened, from Naxals, some heinous attacks. So, can you please share some of the moments that you remember, which make a remarkable impact on your personal life as well and in your career as well? Any impact that you remember that you can share with us?
The Naxalite movement ended in the year 1972.
Yes.
In West Bengal. At that time, I was a mere child, mere boy, little boy. So it was not a Naxal, but the Maoist.
Yes.
Naxal, there is a fraction, Naxali. So fraction Maoist, that has to be confronted by me. When I was SP and when I was in other positions. So, Naxalite group, but Maoist.
Maoist.
Yes.
CPI-ML that we can consider.
Yes, CPI-ML. They were CPI-ML. But ML also Marxist-Leninist. But there was also another faction. Then there was a faction, they preferred the Maoist
Maoist movement.
So the Mao Zedong.
China's leader, CPC.
They preferred it. So now the Naxalite movement, whatever is going on in the left, it is Mao Zedong and more radical. People's War Group,
People's War Group, started by Kondapalli.
PWG.
PWG.
Yes. PWG is now. So there was, so the central government had to ponder, think over it, how to tackle it. So they wanted to improve development, introduce development in the area, because the experts suggested that it is due to the lack of development in the area. The PWG has made just a stronghold in those areas, which is known as Red Corridor.
Red Corridor.
Red Corridor. So the government all introduced some development work, but it was thwarted. And the PWG people group managed to convince the local people, the rural area, people of the rural area, in their domain, that not to accept the privileges given by the government, not to accept any kind of development work in the region. It was done, PWG. So then the government became very much desperate. Moreover, they started to attack police, military, army, even some special groups operating in those areas. So Dantewara, Bijaypur, Dantewara, those became very hot belt of their attack. Chhattisgarh, Garcholi. So these are the very affected areas that became. Even our West Bengal Silla, there was a year people were killed, So many people, many police were killed. I came to learn that around 2,500 security people were killed. Yes.
2,500 security people?
Yes, killed during last 20 years. And more than 4,000 people, civilians, were also killed in this area. And lakhs of people were affected in many ways. So the central government started to started some program, both the operational program as well as developmental program in the area. Now the people gradually accepted the development works of the government of India, and they became gradually disassociated with the PWG groups. So it is possible they diverge the movements of PWG, and that's why in recent years, even in the May 2025, the Green Hunt, the Greyhounds. So these are the names of operations, and the CRPF, generally CRPF, and a combination of security team, they got success in killing some of the top leaders of the Maoist leaders. Maoist leaders, and so at present it has subsided. It has right now.
So the researches that we have done, our team have done, we got to know that initially when this movement started in 1980 under Kondapalli, the Maoist movement, CPI-ML movement, there is another movement was done, or another reform was done by the government that is called the land reform movement. What they were doing is they are taking the control of those lands which were under the tribal group for the development of the country. But the problem when this movement started, many tribal groups felt that they are losing the control over the land that they own, because for them, their land, water, and the natural resources were everything. And that's when the Kondapalli and the group CPIML entered in such areas where the government wants to take control, people who are pretty much suppressed, and the only options they have is to survive through those jungles or those deserted areas where people can't reach properly. The team of Kondapalli or the CPIML started from there only, and eventually it reached. We can consider from east, complete east to the south. They have covered what we call today as Red Corridor. So, sir, do you believe that the reforms that government have done was not proper, that actually was satisfying the needs of these tribal areas, or they didn't consider the requirements of these tribal areas, that led to the revolution or disaster, whatever people can say, of this actions of CPIML or Maoist?
The fact is, whenever you want to develop an area, so you develop the area, at the same time there has to be a development of the people.
Right.
So the people residing in those areas, underdeveloped areas, it is the bounden duty of the government to first convince them about the design, what they want to make, and how they will benefit. It is the primary duty. But in some cases, even you see, take the case of 1967 Siliguri Naxalite movement, Naxalbari movement, you will see the government did not take any precaution. When there was a land, actually there was land. The land belonged to the destitute people, the people of the locality. But suddenly, the Jamindars and Jodhars, they started to grab the land forcefully, and there was none to protect them, to prevent it. Anyway,
there was none who
none to prevent. That's why that movement started, and that resulted in the fraction of the CPM, the creation of CPI-ML also there.
ML.
Yes, Charu Majumdar, Kanu Sannal also there. And another person was Sushil Roy Chaudhary. Yes, he was but initially he was a man of CPI, then it became CPM, and then he again further joined the CPI-ML. So, changing. Actually, they wanted some drastic actions, not totally switched from the right section to left section.
Complete left.
Complete left. CPI Marxists also were not considered proper left. That's why CPI-ML started. So in this case also, so land there has to be there. Even in cases of Singur also, you will find that the lack of communication. Government has development work. Government wanted to do like that, but there was no proper generation of information to the public who are likely to be going to affected by this program or benefited by this program. Even if you are benefited, then they should know what are the benefits. If their lands are immediately grabbed, then what alternative measures are being provided? What type of assistance are given by the government? That has to be cleared, but it was not done. Even in cases of Singur, that's why the land problem was there. In the case of Nandigram also that. Nandigram,
that massacre.
There was a government's proposal was good, that they wanted to make a SEZ. SEZ was there at the same time. I have already told you that in the Bombay attack, there was an attack of the terrorists, Pakistani terrorists attacking Taj Hotel. 2611. And then after, government decided to create riverine police stations, coastal police stations, coastal for the purpose of coastal security,
so that people can't enter into our borders from the rivers.
Yes, even if they venture into the marine area from, if they just riverine area. Suppose Haldia dock is there, and if they can reach damage to the Haldia dock, then it is a huge loss.
It's a huge loss.
So that's why it was a good idea, but the government failed to disseminate this kind of information, the benefits to the local public. The people were taken for granted. Oh, okay, they will give us. And moreover, another point, the government has idea that it was not used land. Actually, that land was of no use.
Nandigram's
the area, the land which they wanted to take up, actually was of no use. Every time when the coastal tidal, during the time of tide, it inundated, submerged. It remains submerged for whole day, almost whole day.
Sure.
So the government idea that we will develop the land. Suppose take the case of Mandarboni or like that. These were all used to be inundated. So the government took the idea that we will develop the area, and if we can make a road to connect Haldia with Digha, then it would be very helpful for us to reach Digha, and we'll get another path, another route to approach Digha, as well as the entire coastal region will be both secured, as well as it will be a hub for economic hub.
Economic hub, which will
Yes, the hotels will come up, the tourism will grow, and the business settlements will grow, everything. So that was the idea. But idea is yours, and it has to be disseminated to the people first. It was not done. So that is the lack of the government in every case. So without this kind of thing, they was also think, oh, okay, we are enjoying votes, we are majority, we are in the so we are enjoying their support. So if I say like that, then okay, the government has wanted, okay, the land we will get. There was a Salem group of Indonesia. The government wanted to hand over some land to them for this kind of development, to just developing a special economic zone there. The Salem group was not so good, was blacklisted in some places. I came to know later.
Sure.
But the people was not convinced. That's the problem. If you can convince the people, then people generally will agree. Nandigram issue, Singur, everything, everywhere, whatever it may be, the land issues. If when government fails to convince the local people residing there, the local people, then it happens. Otherwise, not.